pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Entertain a motion to approve today's agenda.
I'd make a motion to approve today's agenda with one change, just a little switching. The Hardin County Library and Association will move those down to after the status change of the sheriff's office.
Okay.
I will second.
Any discussion?
Yep. So they usually give anywhere from a 20 to hour-long presentation.
So we'll do that
So,
at the end.
yep.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Approval of minutes for November 27th.
I'll move to approve the minutes of November 27th, 2019.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Approval of claims for payment for this week.
I'd make a motion to approve the claims of payment for the week dated December 4th, 2019.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Utility permits.
No permits. Secondary roads wise, yep, they're out doing their projects still. Ground hasn't frozen yet, so we're still business as usual for now.
Good. All
Thank you, Taylor.
right. The Hardin County NRCS, introduction of new district conservationist.
Good morning. My name is Nikki Williams. I am currently the district conservationist in Hardin and Grundy counties. The new district conservationist for Hardin County is Ava Hahn. So with NRCS, we just wanted to come and introduce ourselves. Primarily, we would work with you guys for drainage district stuff, if there's any improvements to any drainage systems. But we would also work with Taylor if there's any structural practices that are going on that would impact the right-of-way. We work with cover crops, no-till, grass waterways, water and sediment control basins, grade stabilization structures. So if you guys have any questions about farming, conservation, drainage district stuff, our office is here and happy to help.
Okay.
So,
Welcome, Ava.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Right. Okay, we have a request to name an unnamed creek in Hardin County. I received this a few weeks ago, and we have received the paperwork, and it was Heath Stoley, I guess, was the one that brought this up. Wants to name the creek between Radcliffe and Hubbard, which goes through all four townships down in the southwest quarter of the county, right?
Sounds about right.
Okay.
Currently, it doesn't have a name.
Right, it's unnamed, so he's proposing to name that Cardinal Creek due to the Radcliffe, before they merged with Hubbard School District, to the Radcliffe, it was Cardinals. Okay. Do you have any other comments? I see your name on the paperwork.
Yeah, I mean, because, as the mayor of Radcliffe, they wanted to talk to us too. And, so then I went and looked, and it's our second biggest stream that doesn't have a name. So, most of our streams about that size, that's kind of right at the verge where they have names and don't, so.
Okay.
Yep.
All
So,
right.
and I didn't see any problem with it.
Pretty heated debate at the Radcliffe Council meeting then?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. As long as we don't need a third Beaver Creek. We already have two Beaver Creeks, so let's not
Oh,
do
all
that
right,
again.
yeah.
Yep. So that's kind of confusing for us sometimes to figure out where we're at.
Let's keep those beavers located to only
Yes,
two creeks.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, all right. Okay. So
I'd make a motion to approve the request to name the creek stated in the legal description as Cardinal Creek.
Second.
any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So we've given our approval. Now they've also requested we send this to the township clerks and trustees,
Okay.
so.
And I think USGS has the ultimate say. Is that who sent it
Mhm.
to you?
Right,
Yeah.
yep. U.S. Board of Geographic Names. All right. Okay.
It's a lot.
All right. Okay, approve the open enrollment for Liberty National Insurance. We had the gentleman present this to us at last week's meeting, so entertain a motion on.
After reviewing the information provided, I'd make a motion to approve the open enrollment for Liberty National Insurance as presented at last week's meeting.
I will second.
Any discussion?
And Becca will then inform all county department heads on how the enrollment period will take place. So,
All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Aye. Auditor's monthly report.
I'll make a motion to approve the auditor's monthly report of November 2019.
I will second that.
Any discussion?
A total of $910 in passport fees and passport photo fees.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Recorder's monthly report.
I'd make a motion to approve the county recorder's reports as presented in a total of $26,624.75.
I will second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Change of status for secondary roads.
Leonard's been here for 27 and a half years, and he's 65, he can be on Medicare, he's ready to leave, so, yep, thank him for his time.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the change of status for Leonard Baker, last day of work being 12/6 of 2019. It's a retirement.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion?
You're right, he's been here a long time, and I wish him the best of luck.
Yeah.
Right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And change of status for the sheriff's office.
I'd make a motion to approve the change of status at the sheriff's office for Heather Jolas. Should be a communications dispatcher at the rate of $15 an hour, permanent part-time, effective December 3rd, 2019.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, so let's go ahead with public comments. Are there any public comments? Bob?
Was there an answer to my question last week about the confinement denial? You have to have a legal reason. Did an answer come up?
Actually, the county attorney has kind of given us a written opinion. I don't know that I want to read the entire thing, but we can have a copy of that available here after the meeting. I mean, if you can have my copy, actually.
I didn't
You guys
bring a
each-
copy.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I can print
So
copies off.
yeah, we'll print copies off for anybody that wants
Can I
them
get
after the
that one,
meeting.
or wait afterwards to get one, or what?
So you do have one in your?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we can. That one? Sure. Are there any other public comments? Is there any other business?
I think we were just going to start the discussion on the holiday meeting schedule. I know Mindy McClellan from the auditor's office that enters our claims and those things mentioned she is going to be out of the office from December 20th through the first of the year. And so she was wondering if we wanted to look at our meeting schedule. We're scheduled to have a meeting on Christmas Day and on New Year's Day. And so I know we'll be meeting January 2nd, the first business day of the new year. And so I know talking to her, she would be okay with having at least one set of claims ready for a meeting on the 23rd. She would set and publish to our department heads a deadline of turning those into her by the 18th if we were to consider having at least a meeting on the 23rd. So I didn't know if we wanted to schedule a meeting for the 23rd to make sure we got at least those claims taken care of ahead of the holiday schedule.
You want to change your 25th meeting to the 23rd?
Correct.
Okay.
That, not a motion yet, but just discussion. And then I think, Renee, if you want to confer with Mindy and see if she's okay with having that single claims date, or if somebody else wants to do another one and have another meeting, even like on the 30th, if necessary, or 31st.
And then can we bring that back to next week's meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For approval?
So we can,
Do you want to schedule the 23rd meeting today, so Mindy can put out that notice that, hey, that at least that first meeting will be set, and she can put out that firm deadline on that first set of claims, Lance?
I think we need an action item on that instead of other
so we'll put it on
business.
next week's agenda, I
Yeah.
think, as far
So
as
tentatively,
changing
so
the
the
meeting date
media,
and-
so Justin and Rick have that.
I would plan on the 23rd, yeah.
Okay. Is that fair to you, Justin?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Rick? Okay.
So we'll add those two items to next week's agenda.
And then Mindy
Formally
can
change the
be
date
fair
of the
to
meeting.
everybody and tentatively say they need to be to her by the 18th.
Right.
Okay.
Sounds
So that's the only other business I had this morning.
All right. And just as a note, I think we'll start maybe making this announcement too, from this meeting on, through the end of the year, that we are going to the single point of entry to the courthouse on January 2nd. So anybody that is going to be attending the board meetings, you will need to go to the east entrance of the courthouse. There is security that's going to be planned. I'm not sure that will be in place by January 2nd. So we're not going to commit to that at this point in time, but that will be the only door you'll be able to get into the courthouse through. And the north and south doors will be locked from the outside, but they will be emergency exits in case of some kind of an emergency. So just, we'll probably want to mention that
Yep.
each week.
And with that being said,
Let
we're
them
going
know.
to try to, we are going to educate our staff to attempt to park away from the courthouse square, especially the east side, to make sure we have plenty of public parking, people to come in to the courthouse and do their business and take care of things. So we're going to push for that as well.
So if you're going to come to the courthouse, come early before all the east side parking spots are taken. Okay, so I think as far as the librarians, do you have a video type presentation again this year? Okay, so if we want to entertain a motion to recess so we can get that
Yep.
set up with them.
I'll-
And anyone that wants to stay for that is welcome.
I'll make a motion to recess.
I will second.
How long is the video?
Oh, that's just that's scary. It's just the background of the slide.
Okay.
All right, we good?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. I know this is a little more formal setting than we're used to, so thanks again, of course, for letting us come speak to you. I guess we kind of use this as our annual Go Library kind of speech, so just to kind of let you know the things that we've been doing throughout the year. Without the support of Hardin County, a lot of our libraries, especially some of our small libraries, would not be able to provide some of the necessary services and resources that so many of our communities really need. So again, we appreciate all the funding that we're able to get each year from your organization. This year we're going to talk a little bit about and focus on communities this year. So our libraries work within our communities, from our schools, our daycares, our senior centers, and our nursing homes. We provide services to these groups above and beyond just computers and books. We provide meeting places for retirees, for homeschool groups, or just kids coming to the library to work on projects. For many of our communities, the library is the only place in town where many people can meet, from retirees to kids. So, and again, libraries are totally free. You don't have to come in and buy a cup of coffee. You can just come to the library and meet. So, again, we really want to just kind of focus on our communities. I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Erin Andrews. I'm the director of the Iowa Falls Library. So I think I'll just let my fellow librarians introduce themselves real quick.
I'm Sue Abbas, and I co-direct with Risa Sterry for the Acton Public Library.
And I'm Laura Newby, and I'm down at Union Library.
Rachel Thompson, Hubbard Library.
Melissa Johansson, Steamboat Rock.
Joan Grotoff, Eldora.
Marilyn Engelson, Radcliffe.
All right, so I'll just rattle off a few statistics really quick just to see how our year went. Last year, our Hardin County Libraries provided 22,000 computer usage and 19,000 Wi-Fi use. We provided 15,000 people came to our programs, and our meeting rooms were used over 900 times. 14,000 people in Hardin County have library cards. And we saw 169,000 people came through our doors and checked out 146,000 items, which both those figures have increased from last year. So we're pretty proud of the services and the materials that we can provide to Hardin County. So I think we're just going to kind of go from library to library and just kind of focus again on our communities and what we do to provide services and resources to our communities. So each one of our librarians is just going to give a little talk on what slides we have. So, Joan?
The top slide over there is we have a knitting group that comes in the third Thursday of the month, and they knit scarves for all the people in Hardin County. They have a little fellowship. There's usually more than that, so they come in and do that, and then they, like I said, they donate. They'll have a display at the library any week, any day now. They're going to come this week and put a display out for everybody. The top is we worked with Hy-Vee and the Chamber, and we did the zombie walk. We had a booth there, and we did a Hogwarts theme, and we passed out wands and sorting hats, little candies, and it was a rainy day, so the turnout wasn't as great as we had hoped, but it's a start, so just to get people involved in Eldora. The bottom is Kathy Wilson. She is a historian that she's very popular with our libraries, and we had her recently do a program at our library, and she'll come twice a year. My children's librarian, okay, there's more. We have Lego time every Friday, and that is pictures from Legos, and down here is Sarah's our new children's librarian, and she was having story time, and it is free, and it's every Thursday from 10 to 10:45. And she did not have a picture of, she provides daycare service. She goes to, I think there's 4 on her list right now. Any daycare in Eldora that would like us to bring them books, we bring books every week, and we bring, we tell stories. So then it's a free, every week they bring the bag of books. So that's a free service. We also offer delivery to, I don't have a picture of it, I go to the nursing home to Valley View and I bring them movies or books for their residents, and I just kind of, I think we're going to go every other week. I'm going to drop off movies and books and then pick them up. And I also offer, there's a few shut-ins that I deliver books to. They just call the library, and when they want a book, I will just drive to their house and get it for them. Kind of have a system down of what books they want and whatnot. So, and just to go back on our meeting room, our meeting room is probably used 7 times a week. We don't charge for the meeting room. We have knitting groups, we have Bible studies, we have Tai Chi's in there, you name it, they just come and use our library. And we are open 53 hours a week.
Can I ask a question? What's something, I'll ask every one of you because I think a lot of you have unique things at your library. What's something unique that you have at your library that maybe the community doesn't realize you have?
Well, we're starting a story time. Or not a book club, I mean, and it's going to be every Wednesday. We're going to have a different group. We're going to go 2nd and 3rd. We're going to go 3rd and 4th, middle school and high school. So they're going to come every Wednesday, and that is, like I said, it's just starting in January. We're kind of advertising it right now, but we're hoping to draw large crowds in for that. So.
Nice. Specialized literacy groups.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah, and we actually have a kickoff today. And the kids that come get to pick the book that we're reading the first round. So
very nice.
If you come this time,
you get to pick. Huh. All right.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Thank you.
Okay, like I'm up next. We've got several pictures here. I kind of want to start out with, this time when we were doing pictures, I was kind of focusing on our older population groups that we offer. We do the kids groups every summer and throughout the school year. we try and get at least once a month, get it in. But our communities, and I'm sure ours isn't the only one, is getting older. And my thought is those people need to socialize just like the preschool kids need to socialize. However, to pick up before I forget on this, BJ, is we have totally remodeled our basement area into what we are calling the family play space with funding from the Tar Heel Committee in Union. And we're also doing our open house here in December, and then they hope to start the groups in January. But that's our new thing that's going on. So we are still focusing on kids, but we have this older population that we feel like we need to get out. So down at the bottom, the lady in maroon there is an author. She wrote a book about Whitten some years ago, and somebody gave me her name. She came all the way from Des Moines. Her daughter even brought her. But we have authors come in and talk about the books and so forth. Up in the corner there is, like Jones, we call it Click Clack group. They knit and they crochet and they socialize. That group can come in. They're supposed to be there 2 to 3. They come anywhere between 1:30 and leave at 4:30, 5. They sit and socialize more. They also knit and crochet. We have quite a few people in town who like to share their plants. So that is our plant exchange. We do a spring and a fall one, and it's very well attended. We have more. There's 2 ladies there that are setting it up, are very, very knowledgeable about plants. So if you want to learn about plants, you come to that. Up in the far corner there, last year we partnered with, and I think Alden did it. We should probably explain that Alden isn't here today. Yeah. But we were given a grant with the state library funding, and the Art Council here in Iowa to offer art to, I think it was 55 and above, senior citizens anyway. So we have the 2 art teachers that have retired and are in the area, and they offered to come in and give art programs, and we had 12 to 15 people come. They offered it twice. Down at the bottom there then, I want to say again Joanne. She is a middle schooler who has a computer kept at the middle school, but she also has homework and has no Wi-Fi at home. So that service, we think everybody's got Wi-Fi now. They don't. She's not the only one who comes in and does her homework. So we did that. And then, I really don't know what the puppet rack is there, but anyway. The puppet rack. What else did I say?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it then.
Lisa Lichwager was unable to make the meeting today. She had a family medical emergency, so she sends her regards. We'll try to kind of all of us throw in, the Alden Library is a pretty incredible little place. She really does do lots of outreach and programming. In Alden, there's pretty much just the library there in town. I think, if I remember right, that they just purchased this new little kitchen here that I think has been pretty popular for their after-school program. They host a lot of kids on the Wednesday after school. I think they have 40 plus kids there every Wednesday. So they try their best to keep those kids pretty active. I think this is just some of the programming that she's done. She does a senior Jerry Fit, which is like an exercise program. I believe she leads it herself, I'm pretty sure. They have their annual patio party that their friends group throws, the normal story time, that sort of thing. And I know she's done recently a program for seniors on using your phone. So she, if I remember right, said that was a pretty big hit.
I think she said she was having them come back again.
Is she? Okay, yep, okay. They do some outreach to the Alden School. I believe her children's librarian goes to the schools maybe at least once a week and reads with some of the younger kids. I think that's what that picture is to the left. And I think then to the right there is some of just her after-school programming. In Alden, I think a lot of kids rely on walking from that school to the library right after school. Luckily, it's not too far. So she takes care of a lot of kiddos every day. So I think that's all hers. Yep,
Kind
okay.
of the town babysitters. I would imagine.
Sometimes, which can be good and bad, I know. She runs a pretty tight ship, I think.
But I think they stay there pretty much till closing.
Yeah, yeah.
Which
Like
is
a lot of our libraries, all of
more
us,
than
I
a
think,
program,
could
yeah.
say that we have kids that come in after school every day, and sometimes they're there till 8 o'clock at night sometimes. So we do provide a place for those kids to at least not be outside and doing something sometimes a little bit more productive. So I think all of us can attest to that.
Safe places for kids.
Yep.
So the bottom left picture is story time that I take out to the Hubbard Care Center once a month. And it's just great to see the interaction with the kids and the senior citizens. They really enjoy it. In the top right, my husband and I and son all volunteer at Calkins Nature Center and the Hubbard Arboretum. So I try to incorporate the library and those two groups as much as I can together. So this summer I had 3 programs that Calkins provided out of the Arboretum. And one was astronomy, one was nocturnal animals, and the other was this monarch program. So all the kids were able to tag a monarch and release it. So the left picture is, let's see, I had some data on that I looked up before I came today. It's a ladies' card club, and sometimes they'll have to recruit a man in there if the lady's missing. So I counted on the calendar, and one year we had 62 card clubs meet at our library.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And the right, I'm sorry, it had to be a picture of me, but I didn't want to get the kids' faces in there, but I go once a month to Radcliffe Elementary School and take a crate of books and read a story to each classroom. And that ended up, I think I had some data on that too. I visit 9 classrooms and 190 kids a month. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. They get excited when I bring new books in. And I usually try to take a critter with me. My son will collect a frog or a spider, so I'll take that with me to the school. And then I try to relate the book to whatever critter I bring. So they look forward to that and ask me, what pet did you bring this week or this month? And then you asked for uniqueness of the libraries. I had to throw this picture in of Spud, our bearded dragon. When I left the library one night, he was looking out the window. That's just too cute. I have to take a picture. And we also have a corn snake and a tortoise and a frog. And we've lost a couple this year, unfortunately. A couple geckos, but the kids really enjoy coming in.
Yeah.
Learning about him and watching us feed him, and I'll probably eventually take him to the school also because he's a lot of fun. So thanks for your support. We really appreciate it.
Okay, the Iowa Falls Library. One of the things that we do is our children's librarian is an artist, so she works with the high school and the middle school art teachers quite a bit. So we a lot of times will have revolving art displays at the library. This happens to be our collaboration with the Chamber, Main Street. Each October we do the participate with the art walk, and we always feature the middle school and high school art. On the right there was last year actually we did kind of a dessert fantasy with that. The Friends put that on, so you can see more of the art that we have all throughout the library. But we also recently had a duck stamp display, which I think, is that just in Iowa? Oh, is that national?
Yeah.
It is national, isn't it? Okay.
Yep.
But we featured all the Iowa, basically winners, which there was a local Iowa Falls boy that he got like second place, I believe. So yeah, we displayed that back in the back of our library. Some of the other things that we've done with the community, with the Chamber, is we always participate in the downtown trick-or-treat extravaganza. So we always have our community room open. We're kind of on the route, maybe down a little further, but we give away books. Every child gets a book that comes in, and candy, of course. So the Friends of the Library sponsor that each year. We see up to 300 kids sometimes that come through for that event. So that one's a pretty popular one. I can go to the next one. Just some of the other ways that we outreach. I guess at the bottom, that's just kind of focus on, that's some of our children's books. We do partner with a classroom each year for a reading challenge. This year with a 5th grade class at Rock Run. So each employee has to keep track of their reading minutes every month. And so we then visit their classroom every couple months, and then there's kind of a big party at the end of the year. So we try our best not to outread the poor kids, but it's kind of hard when you're librarians. So we try to go easy on them. But we also work with all of the schools up through high school of providing them tubs of books upon request, or kind of some of them have a regular schedule of every 6 to 8 weeks that we'll cycle out books for them. Some of them are pretty specific, we want this, or some of them just say, just send some of your new books. So that's from kindergarten all the way through high school that we do that. I also wanted to focus on our pretty robust website that we have. I guess there's our reading partners. That was last year or the year before. Can't remember which year that was. But back to the website, just want to focus on the fact that our website provides tax filing information.
I took over.
Oh, did you? Okay. Our website has information on voter registration, tax information. We try to keep that website very up to date with resources. We have links to other county. We have links to the Hardin County website, that sort of thing. And again, here's is a display we did, I believe, last year, or not last year. Maybe it was 2 years ago, to show, to get people to register to vote, which is really important. We have information out right now on setting out on how to change your driver's license to the star or whatever. So we try to get those sort of things out to the public as much as possible. So our website, we had 25,000 plus visits to our website last year. So we're very proud of that resource for the community. So I think that's about it. And for us, for Unique, we have snowshoes. So,
and ice skates, right?
And we have ice skates, but
cake
we have
pans?
No, we don't do cake pans.
Who has cake pans?
Yeah.
We have cake pans.
You have cake pans
Yeah.
in Ackley.
Yeah.
Okay.
And shuffleboard. We have shuffleboard. Oh, and disc golf. We just got disc golf too.
Okay.
Yep. So recreation.
Yeah.
My husband sits on the library board for Iowa
That's right.
Falls,
Yep.
And he likes to talk about the library as the library of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that's the 21st century version of the library.
Yep. Not just books.
Yeah.
Yep.
These are pictures of the Radcliffe Library. The first one is, it's a triplex panel that we got through the Hardin County Foundation. And usually it's the art teacher that brings things from school, which these are the fire prevention poster winners. And from here, they go to state for judging. But each month, she brings up something different. And on the other side, it's just from our fall open house. We usually try and display the kids' artwork, or we've had Larry Pearson come up with his metal work and just feature some of the local artists. During Radcliffe Days, we've had a local author that has published, might not be a very big book, but it's strictly local authors that come in. Our kids, we take them around for trick or treat, and then in the spring, they give back to the merchants and take them May baskets. Carol Top just retired this year. She had been children's librarian for 30 years, and so it's our city clerk that now is children's librarian. And the fire department needed food for the 85 firemen that came into town to burn the Legion one Sunday. So that actually were the librarians and retired EMTs, which it was my 40th year of being with the EMTs. Now they just want food. It is a big project. They've got a lot leveled. We've got to do a lot of building up, and then they'll start building the new Legion. On the other side, in our library, would be the old Facebook, you might say. We had the Radcliffe Community Betterment, and each year we'd have a project and feature them in notebooks, and then they were sent down to the state of Iowa. And one year we did an all-class reunion, which we fed about 800 people in the gym. You had to have real skinny waiters to get through the area. But that particular event got first place. So people like to come in and just review all those old years and go through, and we actually make copies of them and put them out on our Facebook page so people can see. Our Radcliffe Co-op each year buys t-shirts for all the kids that come to the library, not only the ones that come to the summer reading program, but just the kids that read. We have the first graders that actually come up every other week, and they're able to check out a book, keep it at school. The other classes, we do go down to school, we deliver to them, usually 3-4 times a week, to pick up and deliver from school. And things that they really like to do, and like she mentioned from Union, the older group they like to come in, they call it sack lunch stories, and they'll come in and just bring their lunch to eat there. Because especially Monday and Tuesday, I don't think the ones that supply food don't think you have to eat on those days, because not much is open. So they'd bring their own lunch and come in and eat at the library and spend time just visiting and having just quality time together.
Anything else, Marilyn? I just flipped, so I don't want to cut you off. I just keep going here because I don't remember how many slides I do for each of you. This is the Ackley Public Library. We are also a chamber member. This is us being in the Kitty Parade, advertising our summer reading program. I picked up an astronaut along the way. I don't know why we didn't make the news. It was just a little slip that day. Yeah. Then also we trick or treat. Our main street, all the businesses do trick or treating, and we gave books away, and we gave, for our size of town, about 200.
Wow.
And so, yeah, we were really busy. We actually ran out, and they're all new books that we purchased with grants or donations. We have a couple ladies that donate just for children books, so that's a big plus for us, and that was a lot of fun. And when you're a librarian, I'm sure they'll all agree, you tend to do silly stuff for the kids. So that was fun. This is our summer reading program. We had the Grout Museum come down, and they did some different stations for our summer reading program. We also sponsor a little library out at Prairie Bridges that we started, and that's gone over well with the campers, and it also brings some of the campers into town when they need to either cool off or read a paper or whatever they need to do. We keep that full. Right now we're hibernating because there's nobody out there, but we'll start again in the spring. 1,000 books before kindergarten. This is a couple of our little readers that have accomplished that. That's a huge success. They read 100 at a time, and then they come in and they get a prize, and then they get a cookie. And for some of them, that's wonderful, but every time they come in, they think they should get a cookie. And it doesn't quite work because we can't keep up with our Fresh Break Chips Ahoy cookies. So that's what we always feel kind of bad when they're standing there going, cookie, and not today. So, and we too also, just to change the subject here, we also proctor tests for the old, for college kids that come in. We do that. We also have a nursing home library that we keep stock, and we have a lot of homeschoolers that use our library, and that's a big part of our library. This is some authors that we had come down, Linda McCann, and then she came down and did a talk, and then the other one we Skyped with an author, Jennifer Eden, who wrote Manhattan Beach. This is our morning book discussion. They meet once a month, and then we have an evening book discussion that meets every other month, because that's more for
those of us who work and don't have the time to meet every month, and we do that at 7 o'clock at night on a Wednesday. And that's about it. One of our goals we would like to see done is we would like to hire 2 people to work together instead of 1 person, especially on our night hours. You know, living in a small town, yes, you do know a lot of people, but you also have a lot of new people move in, and that is something we think maybe is something we want to look into down the road. Again, it comes to finances to be able to do that. And I've always said that we feel like we're the welcome wagon, because a lot of times you get new people that move into town and don't realize what the town has. We had one lady that was driving to Cedar Falls to do her laundry because she didn't know we had a laundromat. And I know we're a small town, but when you're new, you don't know that stuff. So you're always kind of the welcome wagon for people that come in, and you're also you're there for a lot of people, as we have said, an older community. Sometimes we're the only person they see, you know, so we're there for them too, and we encourage them to come in and read the paper and visit. And so a library provides a lot for their town.
So I'm Melissa Johansson at Steamboat, which is the smallest library in the county. So this is some of the summer reading stuff that we had going on. The one here is the new patio that we just had poured this summer. And in the front of the library, we now have cement access for handicap accessibility. So we do have 2 people in town that are wheelchair bound, and 1 child that is more than that. And they can now come in for programming and things like that. We've made sure that that's, just to me, it was very important for that to happen. But here is the kids just having a party after one of our events. I'm not even sure what the one is. I think that might have been for the summer reading, the snakes and things that we had, the reptiles that came for the summer reading program. The kids just, they loved it. Thought it was just great. So what do I have from, okay, here, Greenbelt Bank always gives us a huge, usually twice a year, they'll bring us a big box of books just for free. That's it. There it is. So that is one of the pictures that we had at the start of the summer reading. And it just so happens that the young boy holding the book that says Legend, his name is Legend. So it is meant to be. You have to have this book. So, but yeah, they're all good books. The kids, we gave them away. The kids just absolutely loved them. And here's the entryway that I was talking about for the handicap accessibility. So here we were doing STEM stuff just on the back patio, or and then this was in the front. We kind of blocked off the main street, which nobody cared. I never knew that if you put Diet Coke and Mentos together, it would do that. And the kids just couldn't get enough of it. I'm like, we only have so many bottles and so much Mentos. But they were like just screaming because of how high up the Mentos went. And this is just stuff that's really very inexpensive because I don't have a lot of money. So we were trying to just put stuff as much together as we could. The blue stuff is called elephant toothpaste. The kids were having that. They were doing slime. We had bottle rockets going off, just things like that that you can do with pretty much for free. You just put baking soda and vinegar together. It's amazing what you can do. But the biggest hit would have been the Mentos and the Diet Coke. So, and that's pretty much it.
Again, thanks for letting us toot our own horns about how wonderful we think libraries are. Again, many of our small communities really depend on the funding that we get from the Hardin County Supervisors just to keep our doors open and to keep our hours, you know, that will fit for everybody in the community. So again, we really depend on the funding that we get. We're hoping at least maybe if we could look at a 2 to 3% increase, we always would love that. We love anything you guys can do for us. Again, a couple of us really could use some extra funding at this point in our budgeting process right now. So again, thanks for your time, and please stop by any of our libraries at any time, and we'd be happy to give you tours of any of the new stuff that we have, from our snowshoes to our critters, to our cake pans, to our bicycles.
I have one comment. So,
Yeah.
and I know some of you have heard this. I'm the son of a librarian, And my mom instilled the hopeful enjoyment of literacy and reading. And I don't like fiction books because I don't have a very good imagination. So my mom still works in the Grundy Center schools, would take me to the nonfiction section or to the newspapers. And she said, just read. Read something, whether it's the newspaper, whether it's a manual for the garden tiller, or how something works, but just read. Just read. And so, you know, I know your son, Dusty.
Oh, yeah.
I know your son. I know your son and daughter. And what you instill as parents means a lot to me. And I see how these young people and the older population interacting with you librarians on, you know, a frequent basis. It makes a difference in people's lives. And so it means a great deal for me to have you here today, because I think it's one of those maybe underutilized assets in some communities.
Definitely.
But I'm so lucky I had a mom, or I have a mom, that is a librarian, and I trust what she's preached for going on 46 years in the public school system in Grundy Center and Comanche. So I appreciate what you guys do, and I think you need to hear that, you know, for somebody like me, you're a hero to me, because without my mom preaching literacy, I probably wouldn't appreciate being a newspaper junkie today, or knowing that if I need a cake pan, I can go to Ackley, or I can get ice skates in Iowa Falls, or I can come see the critters. Yeah, and knowing that there's good, genuine, nurturing people in our libraries that create a safe space. So thank you again.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I just want to say too, and I think I've maybe mentioned this before, that, you know, years ago when computers were more prevalent in homes and this type of thing, it's kind of like, what are libraries going to do now? All this is accessible on a computer. Libraries didn't go away. Libraries adapted, and you've come up with new programs. I'm guessing you have more elderly people that come in just for the social aspect of it than you ever had before. I think, unless I'm uninformed or was uninformed, I always associated libraries with the kids and school age kids. But every one of you showed where you have programs for elderly or adults that come in, and that social aspect is what's going to keep people going. Once they don't have that, it's going to be a sad day. So I do have to commend everybody for all the things that you've done to keep libraries alive and well in your communities, and like BJ said too, the safe place for kids. I mean, everybody worries about that, I think, and you guys provide that service too. So I really appreciate what you do.
I think one thing you left out this year was people that need to fill out job applications. You guys helped through that.
Filling that void for workforce.
Yep.
Do a lot of that.
Which is, I mean, I know you brought it up in the past years, but you skipped it this year, so just make sure it didn't go away.
Oh, no.
No, I
And-
even help people apply for their nursing license and just all sorts of things that you end up doing, and elderly people bringing in their smartphone and they got stuck on something and they can't get back out, you know. So.
You just smash it.
Here's a flip phone.
Yeah.
I always go, how do you do that? And I go, don't worry about it. Just keep doing what you were doing, and it'll be okay. You know. But
Or their readers also, their Kindles and
Or
their laptops, they get stuck.
But it's amazing how many people that, you know, when the Kindles came out and stuff, you know, were reading that. And you have, I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but I have more people come in and say, I just really just want a book. You know, I just really want a book. I go, good, you know. So.
We have those.
Yeah, we have those.
We're not out.
We do both. Yep.
Well, thank you for coming.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for your time.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to adjourn.
I will second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye.